Hi, I'm Ms. Buck and I'm the Title I teacher at Mark Twain Elementary. I wanted to do a quick video about making story time into learning time with your family. Many of us already have a routine of reading to our children every day, and if you don't, this is a great time to start. Even if you only get to one story, maybe every day, maybe every other day, it's better than nothing. Many of us don't have time to read 5 stories a day to our children, but if you do, that's awesome. A lot can be said for an adult reading with a child. There are lots of positives that can happen from that. One of the great things that happens when an adult reads to a child is it helps the child learn that patterning that the adult is showing them how to read. They're showing them they're reading from left to right. They're showing them how to correctly turn pages. They're showing them enjoyment in reading. They're showing them inflection and tone and rhythm while they're reading. They're stopping at the ends of sentences. They're changing their voice for narrator versus character when they're speaking. And all of these things will help your child create an inner dialogue while they are reading a book to themselves. The more patterning that an adult can give them, the more fun a child will eventually have when they're reading to themselves. And having them choose the story can be very powerful too. Which book? You like this one? This one's the one you like? Yeah? You like this book? Okay, let's read this book. Now, reading above a child's level is a great tool. This can be really fun for them because you can read more complicated stories than they can by themselves. So even if you have books like this, that are for maybe 4th, 5th grade or higher, chapter books, all of those can be really helpful and really broaden their vocabulary and their imagination. Now, if you have smaller books for younger children like this one, trace and point as you read to your child books like this. A lot of children have trouble differentiating between phrases and words. The phrase, "I love you," many children believe that's one word. So showing them that each of these words is differentiated is incredibly helpful. Not Gwendolyn, Bunny. She tasted here and she tasted there until she came to a patch of clover. Use pictures to confirm what's happening in the story. Once there were 5 little bunnies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can also work on finding the letters or words that you're currently working on together. Maybe they're working on the letter G. Find all the G's in the whole story. Maybe they're trying to find the sight word was. They have to find all the words was in the story. Now for 1st through 5th grade, and yes, all the way up to 5th grade and beyond, you should still be reading out loud to your child or with your child. Let's say that your child was reading at about this level. You can be asking your child a lot of questions as you read the story to them. Ask them prompts. What's going to happen next? What do you think they should do? Is that what you would do in this situation? Try to relate the story back to them and make it kind of fun. Maybe they've been in a similar situation. When they can see that stories are often about real life, it can make it more realistic to them, and they might buy into this whole reading concept more. Now, when your child is able to read a little bit more successfully, you can share the load with them. Maybe you read a page and then I read a page. Maybe they read a sentence and then you read a sentence. You're modeling how to read those sentences in that story, and you're helping them with maybe some of the harder words. After you've read them, they'll be able to read them in their next sentence. Rhyming books are incredibly helpful, as many of you know, because of the popularity and success of Dr. Seuss. Things like Cat in the Hat or Green Eggs and Ham repeat words many, many times and also have tons of rhyming words, often silly rhyming words. So when you're seeing rhyming words like this, make sure you're pointing that out to your child. Show them that the ending is spelled the same, and so it will sound the same. It's just the initial sound that changes. Help them by giving them that initial sound, and then they can finish the word. That can be a lot of fun, and then they feel like, hey, I just read that word. Same with repetition of phrases. They'll see a certain phrase repeated over and over again in many Dr. Seuss books, and that helps them learn that phrase, and those series of words together means something specific. It can give them a lot of confidence that, wow, look, I read that whole sentence, because they've seen it so many times, they now know what it is. It's a great tool. Don't underestimate the power of reading all kinds of stuff to your kids. Yes, bills are a little bit boring, but if you're showing them that you have to read your bills, it shows them that reading is important. If you can read them nonfiction articles, either off the computer, off your phone, in a magazine, still reading. If you can read to them billboards, street signs, things like that, they can see how reading is important in an adult's life. All right, so to recap. Reading anything is better than reading nothing. Try to make it quality time. Maybe not, quantity might not work for your family. You can use books to look for certain letters, sight words, punctuation, things like that. For older elementary school age students, they can read with you and they can read to you. And they can be looking for things like tone, setting, narrator versus speaker, all kinds of things in the story that are for more advanced readers. And don't forget, ask them lots of questions. What's going to happen next? Did you like this story? What was the main character's problem? Things like that. Make them accountable for what they're reading and ask them to tell you about it. I hope this was helpful, and thanks so much. Enjoy your time with your family.